Powered by Intel, Vodafone, The Road to Odense, Betway, MSI, Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA. Vodafone presents the pre-match.
Well, they're not cosmonauts. In fact, they don't work for NASA and actually don't even really work for the space soldiers anymore.
That's a good point.
The ex-space soldiers. And one guy that was a commentator who now has moved his way over here, who would be Henry the Dong Greer. And that's not to be confused with the Don, something along the same lines. But you understand where I'm going with that, right?
You're a bit of a space cadet, aren't you? You must feel like you can relate to these guys.
Yeah, space cadet. You know, I got the mustache. Like, I'm ready to get into flight as well.
Yeah, you're looking good, man.
Thanks, man.
You want to talk about his teams, or...?
You got anything else you want to talk about first?
No, that's cool, man. Let's get straight into it. I know you guys like to play off each other and have those cool jokes and stuff like that, but I'm ready to talk about it.
It's called about camaraderie. It's all about, the flow of the show.
Sure.
Which I understand the flow that you guys have working was much different than me and Chad, but perhaps, yes, we can talk about the ex-space soldiers and HellRaisers. Therein will be two maps between the two teams, and Henry Greer will begin to make sense of all of this. Paint me a big picture here, Henry.
This is a very interesting matchup. We've got a ton of firepower on the server, but not a huge amount of success overall. Both these teams kind of in flux right now, especially Space Soldiers leaving the organization. Chad, your name is not Chad, you're Trace. It's a good start. What's going to happen between these two teams, I'm not really sure, because Space Soldiers, they have got so much potential and so much notoriety around them, but they haven't really realized that true potential just yet. They've got exceptional players in the form of Zantares, of course, with Calix, Major in there, and I'm really excited about the overall package, but HellRaisers, I think, are a better overall team. They have a lot more experience on land, for example. They have more strategies, and they definitely are more well-rounded units, but it doesn't really matter. In terms of recent form especially, Space Soldiers look revitalized. They just picked up a win on our first map, Dust2 against Wendigo, just in the B stream just now. So they're going to be the favorites going into this one. It's more of a map that suits their needs as well. It's actually a very good map for HellRaisers and specifically Voxic, but recently hasn't looked too good for them.
Let's start with the Space Soldiers, Henry.
Okay.
I think you were on a good line there. You were going off, not really on a tangent, but you tend to go wherever you want to go.
Exactly.
You kind of dictate your own future. You really do steer your own ship.
Indeed.
So steer us right into the Space Soldiers camp.
Space Soldiers are a team. What do you want to know? That's a very open question. What would you like to know?
Kind of what I'm here for.
You're just going to say a broad, sweeping statement. And Space Soldiers, a team that have been impressive throughout the last 2 years, but never really found true glory, leaving their organization recently. They're going to try and bounce back. And 2019, I think, will be a year where they can actually do some damage. Right now, rebuilding and obviously looking at players like Voxic. Is that a team? Is this a teammate they could look towards in the future? I'm not 100% sure. And what are you doing over there?
Nothing, Henry. Why don't you just keep going where you're going?
I'm trying, man. But
I think you're onto something, though. It is an interesting time to be a space soldier. And why?
I don't know. Is this how you guys operate on the desk?
No, I mean, it's basically you're making a point that, yes, they have moved around in organizations.
Sure.
The roster isn't necessarily morphing and changing around. We do know about their unfortunate run throughout the major. Didn't really go the way they wanted to. Didn't really get to use the players they wanted to, so to say.
Well, yeah, there's not really worth talking about that situation at all. I feel like they've been in trouble with the organization for a long time. They've never really publicly commented on what exactly happened, but overall, it's been a disappointing year for them, I would say. They've definitely had some up and down results, but mainly down. That was such a frustrating time for them. I think that was probably a catalyst for them leaving the organization, didn't get the support they needed. They're not a big organization. They're based in Turkey, of course, and visas have always been an issue. They always seem to have a stumble just before a big event and can't get themselves together. But they've always got a team that's going to be very scary on the server, and you can never underestimate them. There's been big tournaments. They open things up and take like SK Gaming down in the first round, for example. They're always going to be
crazy.
deadly.
That was like a 16-1, I think.
Yeah.
Some outrageous showing here, but at least their season in the online pro league is shaping up to look like this. The HellRaisers tonight, and then they've got Ego and Heroic, both teams there on the latter end of their season. Not necessarily the heaviest of hitters. In fact, I'm not sure that Heroic can even qualify anymore.
I think that's probably true. Heroic with a new team. You didn't expect too much from them coming into this one, but still, these are all teams you'd expect. Maybe not HellRaisers so much, but the last two, especially Ego and Heroic, you'd expect Space Soldiers in terms of their power on the server. That's something I've always spoken about with this team. They're not necessarily the greatest Counter-Strike team in terms of fundamentals. They do have decent strategies overall, but it's more about the firepower. And as two players in particular, you always want to talk about Zantares, a player I want to see more of. I wish he could increase maybe his English skills and maybe get himself in a team like FaZe. Definitely good enough
Right.
to be on an international squad, but he seems loyal to these boys. Maybe not so much anymore. I'm not sure what their future holds. Are they going to go to a big organization? Are they still looking for offers? Is this a window for players like Xantares to maybe get an offer for a team like that? That's an interesting dilemma, I think. And
Here's a dilemma by itself, Henry.
Go on.
And that's going to be HellRaisers all around.
Yes.
An interesting lineup, right? Because we touted them as having this firepower. We always said that they've got it going on, but lately it hasn't been the most solid of steps.
it really hasn't, but they've always been that team that's always in the middle ground of every tournament. You never expect them to win it, but they're always going to be underdogs in their own right. I feel like they've got great experience and great young talent as well. You've got the likes of Angel and Bondi coming from great 1.6 backgrounds, huge names in the Ukrainian 1.6 scene, and definitely going to be bringing those names with them as well. The fact they've got Voxic, Issa, and Dead Fox, a classic HellRaisers player, been there for a while. He was the former sniper, of course, but now Voxic, Issa coming into the fray. They are at the forefront of the powerhouse. They need to be the star players here. Voxic, especially with the AWP, absolutely monstrous, especially on a map like Dust2 Trace. That's when he can do unspeakable things on the map. He is an absolute beast.
Got to be careful with those unspeakables. But what we can speak about is their remaining matches for this season, because it will be Space Soldiers tonight. And guess who they're playing, Henry?
Don't know.
Ego and Heroic, just like the Space
Wow,
Soldiers.
it's like that all works out quite nicely, doesn't it?
a real mix-up, a real incestuous lineup here of games to be played.
Again, HellRaisers, you'd actually, apart from the first one, I'd say that's something, yeah, but HellRaisers are actually, I think, an underestimated team, especially from our lot. Like, unless they're playing, we don't really reference them that much, you know? Like, they're not like a team that's ever going to set the world on fire or get top 4 finishes at every event, but they're definitely in contention for playoffs at every single tournament. They have the firepower there. Another team plagued by visa issues as well. They've had plenty of tournaments where Voxy just can't turn up, for example, or Lissa can't make it, and they have those stepping stones they need to overcome as well. Is HellRaisers the organization that can sort them out and help them with those sort of problems? It doesn't seem to be the case right now.
Doesn't seem to be the most plausible, so to say. But the head-to-head could give us a little bit of insight as to what players to be watching going to this matchup, Xantares and Izza. And within these two players, Henry, which one are you putting your money on?
Xantares, for me, he is an absolute god. Like, Issa had so much hype around him when he first came into the scene. He's still a very good player, but I think he's dropped off in terms of notoriety. He's not the absolute enigma he once was. Voxic still claims that title, I think. He, for me, would be the absolute exciting factor, especially on a map like Dust2. But Xantares, this map suits his playstyle down to a T. I'm so happy we get to see this map first. There's a lot of skill on the servers we reference. Xantares, he probably is the most skilled mechanically with the AK-47 as well. It's a map where you don't have to bring a great amount of strategy, which suits these teams perfectly. He can just be let off the leash. He can find the headshots, and we're going to see a lot of close rounds, lots of duels, lots of clutches, and high-octane moments.
High octane, high intensity, violence, speed, and momentum. Isn't that right, Henry?
That's exactly what I was going to go for. Couldn't have said it better myself.
And you didn't, and that's why we brought in these other two to say what we couldn't say, which you might not notice him from his commentary unless you've watched recent finals and rather his emergence into the caster world. We've got Sadikist, and then his friend he's brought to work today. It's is it Chad?
Yeah, it was Bring a Pet to Work Day. So I
You brought a beaver.
Brought a beaver.
Beaver.
Well, I want to take this time before we jump into the game to take a look at this handy dandy device right here, and maybe we can all kind of watch this together if possible.
Okay.
I'm not sure that's
Am I directing my
entirely
attention to the screen?
possible. Here we go.
Oh.
Holy moly.
Oh, for everybody who might not realize, on the far right there is a young, sprightly Henry Greer holding the mic like it would be an ice cream that's melting.
What is going on there?
Why are you holding
What
the
an
mic like
absolute
that?
disaster.
It must have had a lot of pickup. Can we talk about how Red Eye looks the exact same now?
He does. I look like I'm about 10 years old there. Renault looks the same, so fair play to him.
It had to happen. I felt like the world was owed that little
Needed to
piece
know.
of history right
That
there.
was
But
nice.
when we go to Dust 2, a map just as old as that video, if not a little bit older.
Sure.
Who do you have in this one?
Oh, it's difficult. I think for me, I feel like Xantares and the skill factor will overcome HellRaisers. It used to be a very good map for them, especially with Voxic in absolute best form, but we haven't really seen that the last couple of weeks, especially in Pro League. I'm going to go with Space Soldiers in this one, but it's going to be a narrow victory, like a 16-13.
It could be real close, but it is online, Chad.
Yeah, and online Counter-Strike does have those ups and downs more than anywhere else. So right now, it could be exactly what Hank said. It could also be a 16-2. We never
Yep.
know. It's a coin toss.
This is a difficult one.
It's kind of like love. It's a battlefield, some say.
Or a waste of time. Really depends on where you're standing.
Well, some of us are standing at the very tippity top of the mountain, and the others are about 50% of the way up, and that's going to be about the time. That's not really where I was going with that, but I was thinking more of like
Wasn't it?
us being halfway up the mountain.
That was where he was going.
Definitely was. You could try and play it all
try and
at
get
once,
away
but
with
you know,
that
it's
one.
fine.
Matchday number 13 continues with HellRaisers and next Space Soldier.
Are we
We'll
waiting
call
on
them
one of
next
these
Space Soldiers.
potatoes to join the server?
What do you think, Chad?
Probably.
I mean, we're not
That's a
going to
pretty
write
rude
off.
thing to call them, Chad.
Well, they sit behind a computer all day and they sprout things.
You used to do the same thing. Does that make you a potato?
Well, I've kind of upgraded. I'm more of like a sweet potato now.
I don't know if you've upgraded or downgraded, really.
Well, what's the downgrade from a sweet potato?
Rotten potato.
French fry?
Did I ever tell you guys about that time where I first stayed in that Airbnb and the girl wasn't there to let me in, so her mum had to come do it from the border of the Netherlands and Germany, come let me in, and then I didn't know where the pantry was, and this girl didn't clean out any of her food, and I stayed there for like the better part of 2 months, and I wondered what the smell was, and eventually I found the pantry, and at the bottom was a bag of potatoes that were so rotten.
There are flies and everything.
Yeah, they'd actually...
No, they sprout. They grow things.
But no, they actually got so old that they became like water. That they actually did like it was disgusting.
That's pretty
Cool
disgusting.
story, man.
That's really good.
Yeah.
And that's why you at home should
God.
tweeted us a picture of any potatoes that you have around the house. And I don't mean putting us in a Photoshop. I'm talking about
you can do that.
hashtag ESL Pro League. Put it up there. You might see it on the screen. And it might be used during these times where we're waiting on players to ready up. Chad, why can't players ready up on time?
Excuse me, sir. Can I ask a question?
No.
Anybody else before we let Chad? Okay, go ahead.
So anyway, we're having this conversation a lot about this economy situation, right? So let's make sure that we can preface this correctly to have the conversation in a way that makes sense. Now, a lot of people are going, oh, you know, you guys are just used to the old way and it doesn't make any sense to be complaining about new changes. No, if the change was good, then that would make sense.
Yeah, like 7 brand new maps. Get rid of all the ones that currently exist. Keep going.
Anyway, that might be cool. But with what we're talking about, this money situation, the biggest issue in Counter-Strike with the economy is not the fact of the pistol round situation. It's the fact that the CTs can get hard reset time and time again, right?
Sure.
And if we can just make that the CT's first round loss bonus is always $1,900, they're not going to be impacted in the same way. Because we know the defuse kit has to be bought. We know the utility costs more, and we know the weapons cost more, right? In a game where they're swinging maps to be more 50-50 as opposed to, you know, 12-3 halves or whatever, what did I miss?
No, keep going.
Nothing, man.
That it doesn't make sense for the CTs to be hamstrung so poorly in the economy. Now, if you want to talk about the pistol situation and what's going on there, now we've just given more variety of second and third rounds as opposed to a complete change. We're still going to see 4 to 5 round streaks.
I still feel like we haven't seen the true potential of this new patch. So until we get to a big land like this weekend, I feel like
more meta in
the
it.
teams are saving a lot of their new ideas for this sort of
Sure.
tournament. They're not
Yeah, I
going
like
to
that boost.
They're not going to drop everything.
I think
Pretty
there's-
much. Did you clip that yesterday? Like,
Yeah, you should click that.
that was pretty
I
insane.
think 2 things are going to happen. There's going to be teams that will flirt with not even buying anything on pistol rounds.
Yeah.
And I think there's teams that will argue that losing the pistol round is actually better in the long run because you're going to have a better weapon round no matter what.
I want to make a point, especially about the CT economy. On certain maps, it's actually more beneficial, in my mind, for you to force buy after losing the pistol.
Sure.
Because if you just then do what you normally do, which is take that second
Under the
round.
current money system?
Yeah. If you take that second round, just normal eco/pistol upgrade that you normally would. So you go first round pistol loss, second round force buy. If you win, you reset the Ts. They're down to the $1,400 loss bonus. So they're immediately screwed.
True, yeah.
And you're now laughing. Or alternatively, you just take that third round eco or pistol upgrade with P250s like you normally would anyway, and then because your loss bonus is 1 step quicker, you'll actually have a better gun round come that fourth round. Like we normally would see, the fourth round gun round will actually be a better fourth round gun round.
I think it's very map dependent. I don't think
Yes,
you can
I agree with
justify it on every single map. I feel like even train's acceptable because there's lots of tight choke points you can get into. Inferno especially. I feel like maps like maybe Overpass, you'd struggle to make that
Yeah.
work out.
Dust2.
You can get Dust2 you might struggle, but yeah, definitely a viable option, and it's going to be interesting to see. I think Astralis especially, I want to see what they're bringing to the table. No one wants to show their new ideas and their philosophy. Maybe not even the group stages. You might just see some brand new ideas of how to approach a certain situation in the second round, even in the pistol. Like Matt said, we used to do this in Source. We used to experiment with not buying anything
So
in the
did we,
pistol
yeah.
and to see what happened there. There's a few teams that actually did that quite a lot, and now it's even more tantalizing than ever.
Yeah, I think that's actually more viable on CT as well, just because of the USP potential over the Glock. I
Yeah,
don't think you can
right.
really
Sure.
justify it without Glock and armor. Like
The Glock thing, though, for like a map like Train, if you did an inside rush with no armor and got the bomb down, which you could probably get, say, 70% of the time, you're
Train's
going
when you
into
can do
that
it.
second round with the same win, like loss bonus as the CT win bonuses. It's 3,500 each. So you're going on with equal economy in that next round, which is crazy, right, to even think about. Another thought is, on the T side, if you lose the pistol and then force buy on the second, let's say you have a real good gimmicky strat where you can buy maybe P250 head armor and certain utility to do a set piece, and you reset the CTs, they're automatically going to go down to that $1,400 loss bonus, and then they're screwed for a longer period of time, right?
Chad, I mean, you want to talk about equality. Here's the true equality we should be talking about. Readying up in the server at the same time as everybody else. We were waiting on Woxic. Can you believe it, guys?
I can.
I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what I was saying was we were waiting on Woxic to ready up. It would appear as though he has just done that.
Okay.
We're going to be jumping into this game right about now. It's going to be Dust2. It's going to gonna be HellRaisers and some former astronauts.
Let's get it on! Is that the excitement?
Astronauts?
Is that
Or
what?
are they
Is that the
like-
excitement that Henry brings? Am I doing it right?
No. That's not what he does.
Okay.
That's not what he does. You sound more like Jesse from Bar Down.
What is that?
Oh, it's the greatest content on all of YouTube, as a matter of fact.
Okay. Well, as they did outline for us, we do have the X-Space Soldiers taking on HellRaisers on D_Dust2. Both teams right now within the Pro League are still viable for making the top 7 and thus the playoffs on that road to Odense. Just giving you a quick little catch up there. And the players outlined by Henry and Trace throughout their little analyst segment was none other than Zantares from the X-Space Soldiers and Issa from HellRaisers. 2 fantastic players. We're underway here, Matthew, as we're getting a cap boost coming on up. Bit of a Voxic, the man who we're waiting on to ready out, will be leading the charge, but the majority of the attack for the Space Soldiers team will be congregating over in the upper dark tunnels.
One in closet, so 2 inside of the site. Lights go off. Lockpick digged. But he's got an engine. The engine's got no fire. It ain't turning over today. Paz through the doors. Another kill. Good thing Zantares was there with him. He and Major over the shoulders, able to take down Issa. And I believe that was Angel that also fell. So it's now going to be the favored Space Soldiers with the deep B site wide open and the Fox dead. It is only Bondic.
Well, this
And
one.
this is actually something like you've already got armor. You've got a pistol. You're about to get a $1,900 bonus.
Yep.
Save the armor.
Yeah, if you can. That's definitely a very good point there. So this is where I guess we can continue to have this conversation throughout, because it is something, as you guys mentioned, that will constantly be changing in front of us. And we all alluded to, I think, very good points and maybe even different points. And that just shows how much can actually be done now with these rounds, how many different options can happen, how many different plays, how many different scenarios can all play out. He's going to get hunted down here and then drop to the Glock of Paz. And the first round will go on the board for the Turkish side. Now, as you can see here, normally now, Matt, as one of the adjustments, most teams will be investing heavier in AK-47s and Galils as opposed to the SMGs, because at the moment anyway, it seems the CTs will go for a weak CT buy on the 3rd round. They'll have those M4s, they'll have limited utility, which means they need to play more team-based rounds. And people thought that this would have maybe... There are people like, oh, we'll have less redundant rounds, you know, we'll have more competitive rounds all the time. Well, right now, normally you'd see the CTs at least go for a pistol upgrade or a force buy. As opposed to that, they've gone for a full eco, which is one of the easiest rounds in the whole game. So to all those people who keep touting that absolute bullshit, think about what you're saying, because it's really upsetting me as someone who actually watches the game.
What was this? Sorry.
This is just people who think that the money change means we have less redundant rounds, right? The CTs right now would either have in the past gone for a full,
Oh, you know,
like a force
I don't
buy.
think that's the case at all.
Right,
I
which
think it
is-
changes the. I think if anything, I think it makes the halves more back and forth though, which doesn't mean you have less redundant rounds or less rounds without guns, but I think it can certainly make the game more exciting throughout. As opposed to having those like 5-0 to 7-0 starts. I don't know. I kind of like those as well though, because then you get the narrative of a comeback, perhaps.
Sure.
Right?
Well, I think it needs to be like, this is another problem I have with people talking about balance in Counter-Strike. Why does every map need to be considered like 60-40 or 50-50? It's back in the good old days when we had Train and Nuke being very heavily CT-sided. That was a discipline in itself. I don't know why we'd want to remove that. But as we get into the first gun round, Voxic will have the AWP in hand, will be Glass Cannon. He drops immediately to that of Anja, who will take him down as Long Presence is quickly taken and put in the back pocket of Space Soldiers. They're looking pretty in this one, but Angel has something to say about that. He's had to go aggressive off of that opening kill. Doesn't realize that Zantares is actually behind him, and these guys are going to walk past each other, not even having a look here, as the Observer does a fantastic job with that camera angle to display this scenario for everybody playing home. And it is just going to be the quick A-pins. They're up long. 4 players quickly drop. Zantares from Cat will take down Bondic. Probably not expecting that to be the case due to Angel's position, but the retake will be on as the bomb is getting planted. That nade might stop. No, only tickling 2 damage onto Engine, and the save call. So, really, the first gun round with low utility and a Glass Cannon AWP gets us in the exact same scenario as what we would have been pre-economy change. Take that.
You're really pulling for it here, aren't you?
Yeah, it's because I don't think that the solution was actually thought about. I think it was thrown in and we'll go, oh, we'll see what gets worked on.
I don't mind it. I think that's how a lot of changes are made though in the game, to be honest. So
Yeah, but Matt,
it is what it is.
Riddle me this.
Yeah, what?
Why did they put the MP5 in the beta, even though it wasn't an overpowered gun at all, for the better part of a month? And then, with this change, they throw it straight into competitive.
Because Think about it, Chad. It's a video game.
Yeah. What am I saying? All right, so with these saved weapons, Dead Fox will be able to drop one of his own. And the same for Angel there. So we will have another buy. Still not a full gun round in my books whatsoever. Oh, no, they didn't drop guns across. It looked like they were going to. Easter's has an AWP. Angel has an AK. And Dead Fox with an M4. Foxy has a Deagle, and so does Bondic. So this one is still competitive, or more competitive than just a pistol upgrade. But look at the map territory being taken by Zentaros already. 36 seconds left. He's already walked his way out mid. He's already smoked off mid to B. However, he has something to say about that, as he will open up the account for Space Soldiers over to for HellRaisers on Space Soldiers over towards Upper Dark.
Still, though, they've got window control and with a second player inside of... Well, I said that, and then immediately Voxic starts to get on toward middle. If they control the backside of the doors, they're fine here to pinch them to catwalk. They had actually good positioning, trade out, and pull back against Space Soldiers. 3 on cat, rotation already in towards CT. Dead Fox gets caught out by Zantaras. Great aim, but Voxic has the same against Paz. Should be the round indeed, finally, for HellRaisers. It's only a one-man advantage, 56 seconds, but they've got the backside of catwalk. Thankfully, Issa hits the shot. That could have been very costly indeed, as it would have opened up access. Bomb still gets planted. I say back toward middle to control rotations, but bomb already planted for Engine. Both of the immediate players on the site, now all 3 in fact, toward the catwalk, as Engine on the ramp can control the peaks. Go for one-on-ones, but now knowing exactly where they are, they won't allow that, and Voxic gets the shot. 3-1.
So just to note, there in that round, Issa had the AWP and found 2 big kills with it. He is not the primary AWPer or the secondary AWPer for the HellRaisers squad. That is Voxic, and then followed by Dead Fox, normally doing a lot of the secondary AWPing when required. So a big round right there for HellRaisers to win, but not one that will break the economy or even look to do that much damage, because Space Soldiers with the plant get more dollary dues in the bank. Right here, right now, we have the double op setup coming out from HellRaisers. One was up and saved, so one in the hands of Voxic and one in the hands of Dead Fox, but they are casting out long, and Bonnie will find one. Paz will exchange, running the trade, and Angel, he's not happy to let a man die. Back and forth we go, as we do find ourselves now in a 2-on-2 situation. That's all the action going down towards long right now. So this is where the mid-round, this is where the rotations come into play, and I think the clock will slow as... Oh, I missed shot.
That's not great. Just barely missed it. Crouched under the crosshair. Dead Fox getting the upper hand, and then Issa closing out the round. That could have swayed it. It would have been a 1-on-2 in the other direction in favor of Space Soldiers. Now it's 2 rounds in a row for HellRaisers. Guns are gone on the terrorist side.
Yeah, they do have enough to buy, in my opinion, and they will go for it because 3 players had over 4K, and it means that Paz and Madja will have to scrap together pistols. They've both gone for deagles. This is an aggressive play from HellRaisers right now. The AWP's posted up in middle, not too worried about an enemy AWP looking on down, and someone's snuck into lower dark. It looks like they do want to go for a mid play here. 4 players congregating towards the back of catwalk. Jump peeking. They're going to know that the AWP is postured forward, and Zentaro is going to come out and try and punish that, but this 3-man mid pressure setup will actually pay off for that of HellRaisers. And now they are being tickled. They are being spotted, they are being fought, but dropping back is the right decision, and that is exactly what they will do. Nades will be exchanged, but no one should be lingering around for too long. They don't need to at this point, HellRaisers. They have that number advantage. They merely need to play that, turtle on up, trade out efficiently. Say that, but Voxic has other ideas. He's going to be flashed off the angle. And the Molotov will be enough for him to rotate back over towards the A bomb site, but will it be in enough time? Because the attack is going to be coming from Cat any moment. Flash will go over. Here it comes. Quickly they run.
Good shot from Angel, actually, to take down Engine. It looked like it was going to be his op instead. It's not. He goes back down to the ramp, holding and waiting to see how close they get. He doesn't want to overcommit because if they jump around the corner, he even wants to go for the no-scope given the angles. Spots the head, but can't find the shot. Goes back for more. Flash out from his teammate. Works well. Jump up just for information at that point in time. Confirms to Angel no one is up close, so they're not peeking. He goes for both on the M4. Well played from HellRaisers as they tie back this game at 3-3.
What do you think about the notion, Matt? I'm not sure if you saw this on Reddit. It was there
Notion in the
maybe
ocean?
a week and a half ago. the idea of having the M4A1, so the silenced M4, as your primary, and then now because of the price change,
going to the AUG as the secondary. It's something you're going to have to first and foremost before you switch to the M4s. You're going to have to get used to the AUG.
It's another map-dependent thing as well, I think.
Totally, and positional.
Yeah, for sure.
Like whatever your role is. The only reason to me to go for the M4A1S is smokes. So
sure. Yeah, I get that.
In situations like the silencer doesn't mean that much to me. Sure, there's a little more precision to it. If you're going to be running that weapon and you're going to be defensively playing behind smokes, that's fine. And then you have the AUG for situations in rounds where you want to play a little more aggressively, or vice versa. If you want to play a longer angle, a more elongated angle, then you could run the AUG instead.
Or even if you anchor a bomb site, you have those 10 extra bullets.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, exactly. So you would run your AUG as your primary, and then you'd switch to the A1S for when they're smoking. Exactly.
Yeah. But this one got interesting. This started as only a pistol upgrade for Space Soldiers because the loss bonus was starting to build. They went for a fast, lower dark play. We were able to trade out relatively efficiently. But as soon as we start recapping that scenario, Angel will find the head of one. Bondic will find the head of Paz. And now Zentara is stuck in a Molotov. And I guess the clouds is where Angels do reside. And we'll find that frag. Smoke to follow as he wants to cross quickly towards this A bomb site. Getting the bomb down would be a massive win in this situation. And a winnable 2-on-1 could play out here as both players, Bondic and Dead Fox, will be retaking from long. They have a lot of utility. All Zentaras expect both players to be coming from the longest rotation choke point. And here's the question. He's playing for information, so he's seen no one at Cat. He's heard no information over towards CT spawn, and now he's found himself in a fantastic position. If he hits this shot, get around the bag.
Couldn't quite do it though, could he? Bondic's got it. They'll get another defuse. That's another. So what's that? 3 defuses in a row, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah. So
the money's still pretty massif.
Yeah, our scoreboard for whatever reason
doesn't show it. Yeah, it's a mistake, isn't it?
I think it's something to do with the ESCA and the way that it works with our
Neato
HUD. But it doesn't matter. We can check on htv.org. That one has all the right answers. Double AWP still going strong for HellRaisers here as the guns come out once more for Space Soldiers, putting pressure on long. Flashes come out, Engine pushing fast, keeps his head down to tuck away. Is going to make it out. CT's Willow drop back, and TK is actually the damage done to Engine as a nade follows up and tickles him as well. Seems like a bit of poor communication, or maybe not expecting it to just be so clear. Ready on the trigger they are, and he's being relatively cheeky out towards that lower dark position once more. We've seen him here a few times already. He's going to step on out, and he's going to be on the heels of Calyx, who has to build between 2 positions, finds the frag. Gives HellRaisers the early 5v4 advantage, and now the pressure's on long. It's a quick attack. They've reacted.
Reacted indeed. Good shot from Angel. He'll try and dance among these smokes. Silence them 4. That's what we talked about. Try and look toward the car. Massive gap in those staggered smokes as well. Counter smoke toward that corner used to be a cool thought. You could isolate that coming up from Catwalk. It's an old school play. Paz.
This is interesting.
Is he trying to just keep his head down and go unnoticed until his teammate gets closer? He's certainly undetected so far, so he could pop up. Angel has no idea he's there, and it works out brilliantly.
That was cool. I think the idea there as well, if they push through, could give the information, but that's another big shot being hit right now from Paz and Madra from deep.
They're going to pull this back.
Well, it's gone quickly from a 2v5 to a 2-on-2.
All due to that positioning as well, because he got way beyond where they thought was a threat. They were in open positions as a result of it.
Oh, the run boost. Here we go.
And they might vacate Dead Fox, or at least evade Dead Fox, I should say, as they get by it. They didn't see it at all. That was so well executed. This could be one of the coolest teamwork. Like, you know that wingman game y'all play?
Oh.
This could be the coolest one yet. Paz has unfortunately gone down, but Major's got a winning chance at this. Bomb's been planted. The way that they did this as a team, playing off of each other, has been absolutely brilliant. Smoke to cover corner. Not really sure the intentions on that because the op can still cover the cross, but he's got to worry about Catwalk first. Great shot of Dead Fox. Knows now that he's coming from long. Sees him. Misses the shot. Nade out. Damage in. Major's on 11. He's got to get aggressive. And unfortunately, he'll be caught by Issa. That could have been incredible. Does this have a kit? He does. Okay, so he wants the op before the defuse.
Yeah, he could have picked that up after the defuse. I guess he just wants to add a couple more seconds to the clock, apparently. We'll grab that one. And keeps the streak alive for HellRaisers right now, who are doing a fantastic job. Even though the bomb is going down time and time again, are standing tall. They're keeping calm in these retakes. And if we quickly revise the scores on the doors, Issa and Voxic, the 2 stars towards the top. Angel having a lot of impact, 7 kills for him as well. Dead Fox and Bondic a bit quiet, but we are only 8 rounds into this. On the other side of things, Paz and Zentaras, 7 kills apiece. towards the top for the Turkish side. Now it looks like a 2-1-2 setup is coming in as the mid pick from Voxic will not reap any rewards. I think Madjo's had him beat time and time again on that mid duel. Been powdering that bottom. Steps out with a second big kill as Madjo continues on the big green. And now HellRaisers are left scratching their heads. They're not in a position to do things as a team for aggressive moves, so Angel's thought of himself, and he'll push out from the catwalk. Spot one towards lower. B bomb site in the meantime has been given up. The bomb has to rotate all the way over, and this one is done and dusted because we've still got a minute 20 seconds left on the clock. A truckload of utility in the hands of the Space Soldiers players, and both HellRaisers members deciding we better save. How's your saving been going lately, Matt?
Oh, don't build a race car.
Yeah, I get it. It's a costly venture.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of them things. Bondic's still inside of the pit, watching reverse down toward long because they just want to save these weapons. So 5 versus 2. Space Soldiers finally going to get another round. They've been getting the bomb down time and time again, but the fact that they've given up 5 is actually like going to be so frustrating for them because they're running out of time to really run away with a half that they've been pretty dominant in some ways, certainly in the early rounds. Credit to the retakes of HellRaisers, though.
It's always those 2v2 situations they're just unable to convert, unfortunately. But as this one ticks on over, the bomb will explode. We're going to take a quick look over towards that secondary stream, which is Fnatic versus Ago, taking place on Mirage. We just saw Fnatic earlier to kick the evening off against Mouse Sports, going 1-1 for the night. Right now, Ago are winning 6-4 on the CT side of Mirage. We'll get another gun round here. AWPs are out again, but this time it won't be the double AWP setup for the CT side. They're just opting for one. Maybe Voxic will think a little bit better before going for that mid pick. He will not try his luck again. Now, really quick mid control. Zentaris is just barreling down middle. He has so much faith in the fact that Major is able to control and cover him in that aspect. And look at this. He's already out mid to B. Minute 35 left on the clock. A kill will go down in transition over towards Cap. But look at this positioning. Huge kill on Issa. That's the head-to-head we highlighted. That's a huge scalp to take. And now Dead Fox stuck at Car. He's got players coming from all sides. He's going to find a kill there onto Paz. And he's done a lot of work here. Damage onto Engine as well. And now it's going to be a 2-on-3 situation. Bomb yet to go down. Imagine being patient in Upper Dark with the package. Means it's not going to go down any time soon.
Well, that's perhaps a first. Major, though, still catching out Bondic, pushing into the lower tunnels. Smoke toward window or door?
Look how high
Voxic.
he's aiming.
Yeah, looking for the jump across, naturally. Wants to see if they're going to run into the crosshair. Smoke goes down. Angel has to back away from it, but bomb still not planted. They may rotate around on this and go one tunnels, one toward the window. Bomb is planted now, and Voxic wants to go first with the AWP. Off angle for Engine. That should yield a kill, and the fact that he's retreating certainly does. Great timing. Great play as Major closes it out, and this time they will get the round. Space Soldiers go 5-5.
You missed the minutia there. The only reason that Engine went for that pick towards window was because Major threw the flash over. That's teamwork. That's what makes the dream work, and that's what we want to see happening time and time again. In Counter-Strike, this is a game of 5v5, not 1v1v1v1v1v1v1v1. I think I was a bit short there. But you get the picture. Finally, a save round will be coming out from the side of HellRaisers as their bank has been broken. E-bank smashed all open the floor and pennies flying out everywhere. And I'm going to get a couple of HEs which have already been expended, already been dispatched, not doing a single lick of damage as Space Soldiers are just going to tee themselves up for the standard default spread or anti-eco scenario. Anyway,
Play the cats.
Matt, how many of these guys you reckon could rock Mo's? I think Magic already has a Mo, right? Like he's got that quite well-groomed facial hair.
I don't think Zontaris could.
Did I say Zontaris? No, I said Magic.
No, I said I don't think Zontaris does.
Or Calyx, I don't think he could either.
Yeah, don't know.
I think Engine could.
Don't think Dead Fox could. Engine might be able to. Bondic, probably not. Paz certainly will take down Voxic. Bondic's actually getting Calyx back, though, by pushing. Angel has now found the AK off of that kill as well, so that's not bad. Good timing for them to work out from the long cave. 2 there as well. They were playing the buddy system, looking for a trade at the very least, but an AK is not the worst thing. In fact, they'll take that, given the trades. And Paz has Catwalk, but smoked off. They now know they've got Dead Fox behind. Bomb was planted in all of this on A because naturally it was wide open, but holding the perimeters. Angel on that AK is going to try and save it. They might be able to get more guns, especially if they're looking for the exit kills.
Yeah, that's the best they can hope for right now is a couple of exits. Try and keep the guys from Space Soldiers honest, but they're not having any of it. Dropping on back, playing it safe, doing everything as we like it done around here at the Pro League. Bomb is about to detonate. It'll be the 6th round on the board right now for all of you listening on the wireless, driving to work. 6 rounds for Space Soldiers on the T side of Dust2, 5 for HellRaisers, as a tactical timeout will be called for the HellRaisers squad, just to talk about the solution to the problem. A couple of things which I could highlight here is the amount of mid presence that is being given to that of Centaurus, being able to barrel down time and time again. Voxic does not necessarily need to go to the peak against Madja to stifle that. He just needs to make sure that he stays in limbo amid with the AWP so the Xbox control cannot be taken so swiftly. And speaking of swiftly, the pause is over. Freeze time is ticking down. We're getting back underway here with weapons in the hand of HellRaisers. Some more.
Well, Space Soldiers did turn it around. We said that. With all those bomb plants, you'd expect that eventually they've got to figure out the post plants. Eventually they've got to start winning rounds. It just seems natural. And they have taken back the lead. Voxic, great play to time Paz early. The AWP toward mid. He's going to look for a bit more as well. Smoke's down, flashed off. Can't stick there, though, and he'll have to run back all the way through spawn. They'll have to rotate off a rifle with him, so make sure they don't give up too much in middle, which, as you can tell, they started to do. I don't know if they're going to commit to it, though. Okay, now they are. Yeah. So it's going to be Angel that heads that direction. I thought Angel might play on A. Engine.
That must be
Engine number 9 on the New York Transit line. Burning at mid at the double doors.
Off the tracks, pick it up.
We fell off the tracks.
Pick it up. Who's trucking tonight?
What?
That's the next lyric.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a song about truckers.
Yeah, I thought so. Convoy. Who doesn't love a good convoy?
I've only been in a couple in my life.
I was in one in Brazil.
I'd like it if there was a zombie apocalypse, because then everyone would, like, that was alive would hopefully be convoying. And then maybe there'd be a bit of camaraderie.
Yeah.
Because we have to survive at that point, right? It's not really just about living anymore. It's not really about the phones. It's about living that real life.
Living the Vida Loca.
Yeah. Issa in the back of the site here. He's going to get a chance to spray down a couple, but hold up. That toe-to-toe battle that we iced. Oh, sorry, that's a little waffle nade there. He's going to slam the head of Issa into the pavement from the distance. Bomb will go down, locked out. The save call has already come in. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the hunt should be on, because Madja has 8.7. Engine has $11,000. Paz with 4K and he's dead a Rooney. And Zentaro's with 5.8. Calix is the only one who doesn't have a lot of money with 850. I would definitely be calling the chase right here. The only player who I would be keeping in the backlines would be Madja, because he has a big green. Don't want to give up a secondary one of those. Double ult straight post off that. We've seen it play in. Zentaro's with another big kill. Madja's going to get another one. And Bondic is left last alive. Probably going to keep this one. And you wouldn't mind it if they force spot with only one rifle, whereas last situation could have seen 3 on the board.
Well, it's 7, so they've turned it around 5 in a row. That maximizes the bonus, the bonus. I take it back, it was 3, so it was 4 in a row. I can't do math. It does not maximize the bonus. It puts the bonus within 1 of being maximized. Maximizing his efforts in this game is Zontaras with 12 kills. Major sits on 10. It's another quick cat boost. Voxic toward middle is going to hold safely on the inside of the doorway. Doesn't want to cross it over. And with only a CZ75, it's not like he's going to take the battle against Major. Should be another round. This should be the 5th one. This should certainly amount to or yield good results for Space Soldiers. I think this money system is going to make the next Major very interesting.
It's going to be, obviously, Astralis are, as we all tout, the #1 squad, right? These guys do the most, they think the most, they are the most. You say the most what? Well, literally the most everything in Counter-Strike. So, as you guys are saying, it's going to be really cool to see what decision-making they come up with for Blast and IEM Chicago, which are going down back-to-back. I think certain teams, Matt, like Navi's of the world, the money change actually benefits them, because they always love a force buy anyway. And on that second round, they're having more money in the bank. So if you're on the T side and you get a plant and you lose that pistol, you can drop AKs almost every single time to Electronic and Simple. Oh my god. That was a bloody Hadouken right there. That nade did a chunk of damage.
Yeah, considering they have armor, that landed on top of 3 of them. That's how grouped together they were. Bondic Wants to work his way back out with M4. Voxic with the CZ can't get the headshot. Get the angle. So too does that Deagle, but the Deagle gone. Paz found the only kill so far. Bondic swinging back. We'll find Paz. Elevator boost perhaps in effect. They've got the M4 there, but they've lost Voxic. He went out around the corner and was taken down from pits. So crossfire set for Space Soldiers, but no bomb planted. AWP is removed. Angel is well and truly out of the round with Bondic, the only other one with the rifle. All 3 kills going his way so far. Is only left with 13. This bomb plant could spell disaster. Now planted safe side of the box for Calyx. He's worried about catwalk, which is why he does it, but it means that Engine now has to work up toward the site. He can't sit comfortably in the pit, so he'll play car instead. He has to be, therefore, cautious and cognizant of the CT pit. This is well struck because they knew there was a player at pit. As soon as they found the kill on the man with the pistol that ran around the corner, forgive me for forgetting who it was. I think it was Voxic in that case. And that means that they had to rotate all the way around to go get him, and he's already left. That's pretty good.
Well, he's just going to do his absolute best to hold on to this AWP. And that shouldn't be too many dramas as Engine is over towards long and will not be pursuing on the chase, not trace. Well, either work, I suppose. Enough money in the bank for HellRaisers to gun up again. This is a map, ladies and gentlemen, which, at least historically within Counter-Strike, has been a 9-6-8-7 for the, I guess, the better part of Counter-Strike. However, since it's only recently been reintroduced to the map pool, it's been a bit volatile. We've seen some crazy blowout results. We've also seen games go to overtime. So getting that full spectrum of Dust2, as it is, can you hear me say it's the newest map in the pool? It's the newest reintroduced map to the pool. So Dust2 is definitely a classic. There's no two ways about that. But we're about to get back underway. Double Orbs have appeared to be the port of call for HellRaisers, as they did have that earlier on in the piece. When they did find a bit more success, had a bit more map control. It's going to be the long plate. Smokes and flashes will come out. On the corner, Dead Fox completely blind will take down that of Calyx. He's not going to get anything done there, and they want to reinitiate. They want to repick. They want to keep that aggression up, but thinking better of it. They're going to put their tail between their legs. Duck on back. Go for a different approach. As Zentaro's close middle, he's done this time and time again. Has cleared the significantly close corridor. I don't know if he will be expecting the boost of Issa here on the box with Angel as overseer. The A rotation has also come in over towards Catwalk, so we did see them earlier towards Long. They've given that up and they've repositioned as we missed it in the fray, but Voxic went aggressive up at dark, taking down the bomb, and that will call the rotation. Here's the peekaboo play, the jack in the box. Issa steps on up over the top. It's traded out eventually, but they still have to deal with Voxic if they want to get to that B bomb site, and they cannot get past that task. Paz, with 51 seconds left and a dream, has 3 more heads to find.
Certainly trying to do what he can to get the bomb back. Finds Angel, and somehow no trade on that, no repeak. They still have the 2-on-1, so they can play this off of each other at window, but not if he's in the corner. He can still isolate that because there's nothing Voxic can do with the AWP, but that. As he walks out, he gets the shots. 8-6. As we hit the final round of the first half of our 3rd map of the evening.
Day number 13. Season number 8.
See what you're doing there? You're going in, you're going down the line.
8
Year
bloody
2018.
seasons, Matt. Was Sao Paulo the 4th season?
Yeah.
So that's when I got started doing all this.
No, that's correct.
I think I
season
played
1
in-
was Cologne, season 2 was Burbank, season 3...
I
No,
played in
season 3 was
season
Sao
3.
Paulo.
Was season 3 Sao Paulo?
I think so, yeah,
Okay, well,
because
that means I
Cloud9
played
won
in
it. Season 4 was Dallas? No, that wasn't that early. That was
That
season
means
5.
I started in season 3. I
can't
played in
remember.
season 2. Maybe I even played in season 1 because it was ESEA invite before that. And then we moved to Vegas.
Yeah, someone will tell us.
Yeah. So maybe in some capacity I've been involved in all of the seasons. But speaking of seasons, Dust2 is probably in summertime based off, well, not necessarily. I guess the map is somewhere where it's sunny quite often. Let's assume it's summertime. It's going to be blistering hot. Let's say it's probably about 45 degrees where they are. They're all dressed up, carrying around heavy guns and machinery, sweating their absolute balls off under the pressure of having to kill bad guys or good guys. Or, well, no, bad guys, because it depends on where you're standing and what question you're asking. And the question that Space Soldiers are asking is which bomb site do they want to hit? Well, it looks like a mid to B play is in order here. Flashes will come out. They're taking Territory, waiting for the pick Visa from window. Will spam down 1. Pressure not able to be applied from upper dark, as the Molotov will hold the player at bay. continuing to aggress. The AWPs are finding more and more kills. This looks like it is going to be an 8-7 half in favor of the Turkish squad. Alex and Madge are left with a lot of work to do, and time is now their biggest enemy as we are under 30 seconds. 1-on-5 situation, bomb down, nothing to be done. Voxic finishes it off there. And that will be the first half in the bag. A lovely one, as tight as they can be. You don't get any closer than that, Matthew.
You can't. It's not mathematically possible. It could be statistically possible within the confines of the 10 players within the server and the HP that was dispelled. If every round was won with either a tick left on the bomb or one player with 1 HP, you would say that is as close as you would get.
Yes. Yes, you would. The closest rounds you could get in Counter-Strike is if the bomb was planted on the last tick and defused on the last tick.
With a player with 1 HP defusing it.
Yes. With a with no kit.
With a Molotov that nah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, with no kit. Okay, sure. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter at that point because it's still going to be the bomb duration is still this equal time.
Sure.
So
actually, it's not as close of a clutch if it's without a kit.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it does apply a bit more pressure.
Sure.
Anyway, you got the scoreboard on your screen right here. If you can read, that's great. If not, Voxic has 15 kills, Issa with 10, 8 apiece for Angel and Bondic, Dead Fox on 5. Over on the Space Soldier side of things, Zentaras and Paz with 12 each. Mancha doing fantastic work with AWP, 10 kills for him, 8 for Engine number 9, and 3 for Calyx, struggling with only 35.7 ADR, which stands for average damage a round. Pretty average, actually. And not the average. Average isn't bad, as in not good. Waiting for the game to get back underway. Probably worth noting the Space Soldiers do tend to play on a little bit higher ping than most, purely based on where they live. Just unfortunate, it's just where the cookie crumbles. If you lived in my home country and you had to play online matches, it was all played in Sydney and Melbourne, and I lived in Perth, 5 hours away on an aeroplane, I would play with 80 ping. So just suck it up and deal with it.
All right, then. Well, now that we have that out of the way, it's going to be HellRaisers going on the attack, the offensive, the global offensive at that.
They're pretty global of a team.
Are they?
Yeah. Jordan,
not Silvers?
Ukraine,
Oh, I see what you mean.
Turkey, Hungary.
Oh, it's Bondic that's going to get out. Zontaris first. Watch for Major. He's got Voxic back, though. And Major's still on the catwalk. Has his head down, trying desperately to keep himself alive. Unfortunately, he couldn't jump across the railing, the ledge, before which time he was spotted and taken out in turn. Calyx, meanwhile, up close to the back of the doors at mid. USP in hand. Flash goes through. He's got the shot onto Angel.
Very noisy, though, were HellRaisers, like a bull in a bloody china shop, but they've made their way over to that B bomb site, and the rotation was unable to come in because Calyx was held at bay over towards the mid doors. Now they need to get across, and that's a massive shot. The guy who had a strugglesome first half has a very important kill there, allowing Paz to potentially swing from window, but potential is not enough to get anything done, as Engine is left in a 1-on-3 situation, will be dispatched by Foxy Fox. Matt, do you believe in miracles?
I believe in miracles. This thing, where you from?
We should do karaoke, but
No,
like
that's a bad idea.
Not at a bar, like on air.
With
Like
requests.
Counter-Strike karaoke.
Maybe that's what we do for stretch goal, karaoke.
That was one of them, I think. There was one where you, me, and Matt were going to dress. You, me, and Henry. So you, me, and Henry were going to dress up as the people from Beyonce's "Single Lady" song and do a rendition and dance with that. That one didn't make the cut.
I did see that coming through.
That one didn't make.
I would have done that. Why didn't they make the cut? That's such a waste.
Because I think the three of us would be very competitive, and we'd all want to be Beyonce.
Why would we want to be competitive? I'm the only one with the hips for that.
Yeah, but I think I have the dancing pedigree.
But I'm the only one with the hips for that. You could be Kelly Knowles or whatever. Who
We're
else?
doing Destiny's Child. I don't think the rest of the Destiny's Children appeared in that.
You know what? They did in my books.
Okay. They're pretty old now.
So was Beyonce then by that logic.
How old's Beyonce?
I don't know. How old is Calyx? Because he's got a kill on Angel, who's also pretty old. This is a young gun, and he's firing one as he takes down 2 with the AK box. Zontara's back, and that's going to open up middle. A run to B. It will be.
So just to note, the answer is 37. In other important news, just look at this buy coming in from HellRaisers. This is another symptom of the new economy change. Normally, you wouldn't see 3 AKs coming out after winning the pistol, right? You'd maybe see a couple of SMGs, maybe 1 or 2 AKs at most, a Galil in the mix. This time around, they've gone for a MAC-10. Voxic kept the P250 and armor. Pretty potent still, all things considered. And he's the AWP player, so that's why he would go for a buy along those lines. And everybody else, the main riflers in the team, went for the AKs. So as long as you don't lose any of those AKs on this round, you're all good, right? The problem becomes if a team on the CT side decides to go for a force buy. There could have been multiple scouts coming out in the hands of Space Soldiers within this round, and then that would have made this a lot more difficult because the long range of the AKs is negated because the scouts now have that advantage. You could have some Caesars in close range to finish them off. It all just becomes more and more troublesome. So there's more pieces of the puzzle, more decisions to be made, and potentially it becomes more sporadic. I don't want to use the word random because I don't think that is necessarily the true case of it all. But we are seeing similar scenes as what we saw early from the piece from HellRaisers on their CT side. Big Green comes out, glass cannon in the hands of Magi. He'll get boosted up towards Catwalk to try and dispel some middle aggression, but action is on upper dark as Voxic is going to push it in front of this smoke. They go on to B bomb site. Kills are exchanged, and Issa, he's going to stand tall. He's going to find 2. He's going to crack her open. And right now, Space Soldiers should be considering a save.
Torres is still going to work out and give it a whirl, though.
It's not worth it.
Well, it's on Torres. He's done crazier things. They're there. Flashes over. Molotov at the window should surely. Well, Persuade. Okay, it will. They know now. The smokes are down. The Molotov's there. Hard sight to retake that. Let's give it up. Let's get out of here. They're going to run back toward middle.
So rationale behind this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, no defuse kit, right? Why no defuse kit? Well, because they don't have enough money to go for a full buy on that round. That's as simple as that, right? You have to take certain liberties when you buy with not enough economy. This is, if this played out along these lines, right? Hear me out. Space Soldiers lose pistol. Space Soldiers force buy. Space Soldiers do a lot of damage to HellRaisers. Space Soldiers then are able to go for a pistol upgrade of P250s. Space Soldiers then, moving into round number 4, would already have themselves a much higher loss bonus. So would have been able to have either the same buy or even slightly better buy. You got 1900, 2400, 2900, 3400. Obviously, the only one missing in that rat pack right there would be the original loss bonus of 1400. Speaking of hundreds, well, hundreds of players have just strolled onto that B bomb site, or so it feels, as once again, open for business. Calyx goes down, Angel takes Antares, Voxic onto Madger in the fray, and this is chaos all across the board. Another one in the bag for HellRaisers as they move swiftly onto 11 rounds. That one was quick.
They will. That was very quick. Yeah. Now they've got all 5 alive as well, so they're building up that bank even further. A buy in hand at the very least. And when you consider that...
That's the max loss bonus right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're unable to get a buy off of it. They're only able to do pistol upgrade.
But that's CT side in a nutshell.
Exactly.
Honestly, I've said it all along. Like, you can't give a money bonus for a bomb plant plus the cheaper weapons to one side. Now, you could previously, because a lot of the maps formerly played to be CT-sided.
Exactly.
And that was the way to balance it. Now that the maps play more evenly, you're actually giving the Ts a massive advantage. That's my thinking on it.
Yeah.
I think you just got to level up the purchasing powers.
Well, Counter-Strike isn't like life. It shouldn't be equal opportunity in every round. Or it definitely
It's a good thing it's not like life, or you'd be dead one time you play it.
True. It is a video game. It's a digital battleground.
There's no respawning in real life. Well, there is. If you die under the age of 10, you respawn as a pet, actually.
I'll tell you how there is
no choice.
Tell you how there's no respawning in this game. If you cheat, because Valve don't let you come back, bitch. So don't cheat.
Okay.
Don't get VAC banned. Doesn't matter how old you are. We don't take none of this stuff lightly. You're fools. You think you're bad at the game? We'll play more.
Okay. Chad Birchill, ladies and gentlemen. He is the king of Counter-Strike.
No, that's Henry.
Nope, that's you.
No.
Calyx! Calyx! Calyx, giving them Calyx.
Well, that's not a bad one.
He's got an AWP and a third as well. Don't chase him. This man's on a mission.
I've got a couple of Calyx.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
It's in your hair.
Yeah, I know what it means, but I don't know what it means when you have a couple of them.
Oh, They're just in different places on my head.
You talking about vortexes, crowns? Those aren't cowlicks.
Yeah. Cowlick, right? This here is a cowlick, right? See how my hair goes the wrong way?
Yeah.
That's the cowlick. At least that's what we call it in Australia.
Oh, I was just had a cowlick, like literally just going across.
Because I also have a at the back of my head too.
Yeah, that's where the vortex is. That's normal. Everyone's got a crown. Some people have 2 of those.
What were those balls called that you throw them and they had the like whistles on them?
Balls.
Like they were shaped
The
like
Nerf ones?
Yeah. Were they called vortexes?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
They used to go a ways.
They were fun. Have them at the beach. Same as those little skin balls you have and you throw them across and they bounce off the water.
Skin balls. Oh, skin balls. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen those. People whip those though, and then they don't catch them, and it smokes like the
And it
crowd
hits-
behind them.
Yeah, that is always a problem. I try to make sure I either do it like deep enough in the water or I throw it like perpendicular with the water so I'm not throwing it to people on the shore.
Yeah.
Because so many little kids and stuff at the beach, man. And people act like absolute drongos.
Drongos. Can you explain that one for me, Chad?
Just like clowns, like idiots.
Okay, well, let me get back to that in a second, because Foxy has the AWP already on catwalk. Trying to spot through the double doors. It'll be Angel moving up, looking to be flashed around the corner. Major. He's there, but he's downed.
Nutmeg.
Angel's got the shot onto him with the AK-47. Tara's, meanwhile, backs off. That Molotov was very accurately thrown. It's spewed beyond the ledge and down onto the ramp. Brilliant. Covers the whole site.
Is there anything good in this world that spills? Like, spillless has such a negative
Do you
connotation.
really want me to answer that?
Well, that's not what I mean.
Yeah, I get it. Oil spill.
Yeah.
Spilt milk.
Spilt milk. If you have a spill, it means you fall over.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, like, if a truck was to spill money all over the road, that's not good for the bank, but really good for the people getting the money.
Sure. That's kind of in a specific situation,
Yeah.
though.
Well, maybe, like, if, for example, we could use it, like, let's say that Issa spills over the ledge and gets a same thing, though, it has a negative impact.
No, you can still do it. You can still do it. But we'll make it happen. The Molotov spilling forward was a positive means of it, but yeah, I get your point.
Yeah. Well,
Glad we're having so much fun with this.
Speaking of points, Space Soldiers finally getting one on the board. Feels like a long time, but they will get their 9th. 9 rounds for Space Soldiers now on the CT side, 12 for the Raisers of Hell, and Paz with 3 big kills to lock this round down. Make sure the B bomb site was closed for the day, ushered everybody out. Was a little bit rude about it, but sometimes after you've been working 9 to 5 and you've had a couple customers come in who are not the nicest people, you just want to get home. You wanna have a bubble bath. Want to eat your chicken pad thai that you've ordered. Maybe watch an episode of Seinfeld.
It's possible. It's possible.
Cat control very quickly taken from HellRaisers. Minute 30 left on the board. They find the jewel. Magic falls again. He's having no luck in that position. Now, the Molotov will slow them. We'll make sure that the A-bomb site attack cannot come as quickly as maybe the HellRaisers would have liked. And now they'll initiate with flashes, which haven't done anything since Towers has dipped and dived and ducked and turned around. He's dodged the flashes, but the Molotovs come down, standing in the open. 2 big kills with the spam, but Issa fires back with 2 of his own. Make that 3 as this guy and the AK-47 cannot be stopped. The A-bomb site is all his. Calix is left with a retake scenario, not from Hell, but against Hell.
He's gonna just back it away. Just give it up. HellRaisers picking up round number 13. Lucky number 13.
What was the most recent movie you saw, Matt?
Do bike movies count?
Nah, like a blockbuster.
I was on a plane, I'm watching a thing. I flew home last summer. I'm playing there. Couldn't answer that for you, man.
Okay.
No
I thought
idea.
you watch movies on planes.
Literally no idea. I do watch movies on planes, but I tend to purposefully forget them immediately after.
I think the most recent one I watched was This Is Where We Leave You, or This Is Where I Leave You. And it's about like a family and the father passes away and they don't really spend a lot of time with each other because they don't really like each other a lot. And they'll have to go back to their parents' house and they'll have to mourn together. And it's a comedy, surprisingly. Oh, tag through the door. Magic can't get any luck here today. That means there's no one over towards this B bomb site because they were playing 4 over towards A to bolster this. And then the quick A play will come in as Catwalk barreling is Angel. He's already taken full liberties and full control of the bomb site. Will trade out efficiently. And right now, Space Soldier just being absolutely dictated to. Molotovs just being constantly used. HellRaisers are flowing. They are like water right now. Feels like they're constantly taking the path of least resistance and finding its own level. You know water does that? Finds natural level.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. It's based on gravity and the fact that it is a liquid and not a solid.
Yes.
So you could say that liquids also could do that.
Not all liquids.
Name a liquid that doesn't.
Mercury.
Ooh, because it has that, yeah, the edge refining, or I forgot what they call it. Does mercury not always go level? It's based on temperature, yeah, I guess. Is it, I don't know, is mercury a liquid?
It's definitely in that state. We used to use mercury in thermometers. We don't anymore.
Yeah, but that's the point. It doesn't go level because of temperature.
Yeah, I'm not 100%.
Mercury is the only metal that is a liquid at room temperature.
Okay.
At room temperature.
What's that term for something? It changes like between a solid and like a.
Yeah, look, man, I'm not smarter than a 5th grader. They had that show in Canada. The smartest person in Canada actually turned out to be Miss Harvey.
That's pretty cool. You know her, right?
I've seen her on the internet.
Okay, that's where I see all my best people.
That's where I see all my girlfriends too.
I read something. Yeah, I read something. Someone like I think that FaZe Clan like content creator has made a tweet. He goes, "I like my trick shots like I like my women, distant and online, or something like that. At distance and online." It's like along those lines. I thought it was quite funny because like it's like we're internet people and a lot of us tend to have those relationships which are online relationships.
Yeah. Getcha.
Which is 2018. Anyway, more kills falling in the favor of HellRaisers here as they will dispatch of this eco round of Space Soldiers. This will be 15 on the board with no dramas whatsoever. Issa continuing to dominate. He's had a fantastic half with his AK-47. Definitely his preferred weapon. I think early on it felt like Madja was dominating Voxic in mid with the AWP, but now we've flicked on over. The script's definitely been switched, maybe not in middle so much, but he's been picked off in Catwalk quite a lot, unable to get anything done there. Voxic even spammed through the door with the AK one round. And this round, round number 25, potentially the last round of the game, will not see any AWPs out for the Turkish side. Coming on in thick and fast. We will see Voxic going for a long pick. AWP in hand will get to the corner. Will take down Zentires, and that is a massive scalp to take very early. Aggressing on that position will be Madja, though. Expecting that kill to come in, you wouldn't really expect more players to want to push, but he has, and he's already taken control of T-spawn. Maybe he's going to make the wrong call. Maybe he's going to say it's over towards B-bomb site, but it will be a cap play as Molotovs are coming on out. And as I say that, it looks like they're indecisive. Paz finds 2. Now we're in a 3-on-3. This round's a little bit weird considering all the map control that Madja has, and they have to assume that Long has some bogeys, has some baddies. So his position didn't really garner anything of worth. And he goes down. 2 players remain. Calix and Paz with it all to do, or we're finishing map numero uno, Bartholomew.
I would say that's very likely the case, as Calix does go down to Bondic, however. Immediately, leaving us with Paz, with no HP, leaving us with a kill, leaving us with the result going in favor of HellRaisers, a very needed result for HellRaisers as well.
A very clear victory considering how close that first half was. Strong signs from them, and all things considered, a fantastic win based off of Space Soldier starting the night with 2 victories of their own. So, as we move forward, the second map could be competitive as hell map. Let's check it out after the break.
We will do exactly that. See you in a minute.